welcome to the Restore and Recover series. Today is day 4. We are going to be targeting into our legs, specifically our quads and our feet. I know our feet doesn't get usually a lot of attention, so this series or this class is meant to be a little bit of a slower pace. And today is getting a little bit deeper into our lower body. And without further ado, we're gonna get right into it. But as always, we're gonna have different variations I'm gonna be going through. So if you'd like to grab a yoga block or blocks and a bolster or some pillows and something in replace of a yoga block or like a thick book or something like that, feel free to grab it now. Or you don't have to grab anything. Or if you have anything lying around the house, just feel free to grab it. But we're gonna go ahead and get right into the first pose. So we're gonna go ahead and start into our kneeling position today. And already, for some of us, already in this pose where our toes are digging into the floor, our heels are lifted and your knees are bent, y'all might already feel the stretch already right here. And especially into our ankles, it's gonna feel so nice. And again, if you'd like to just hold it here, just close the eyes here, relaxing the head and the neck, feeling a nice uprootedness towards the sky, feel free to just hold it here. But for my friends who like to take it a little bit deeper, we're gonna bring your fingertips down onto the floor and here, level 1.5, I should say, already if you feel it here, especially in the toes and the ankles and the quads and your hips. You should already start to feel a nice elongation into our hips and our quads. Very intense for the leg here. Now, if your head and the neck is bothering, you can feel free to bring your chin down towards your chest so you can relieve a little bit of neck tension here and just holding in this position here, making sure to bring your shoulders away from those ears and just feel free to close the eyes here if that feels comfortable. Now, for my friends who want to take this even deeper, bringing your hips now to lift up towards the sky simultaneously, you can feel free to gently bring the head and the neck back and just recline back, opening through the front line of that quads here. You're really gonna start to feel it in this one here, and already it should feel so nice. And feel free to hang out here. Now, for some of us who actually do not like any of the poses today and your knees are not feeling it today, no worries. Feel free to take a pillow or a bolster like I have here, and you can feel free to now bring the toes down onto the floor and gently sitting onto your bolster or your pillow. Now, if this feels a little too intense for the knees, you can kind of play around with the placement here. You can even just keep it in a nice tall kneeling position and trying to recline back with the support of a pillow or even a wall and trying to open through the legs here. So without coming into a full bending for your back and just holding in this position. Already you might feel that nice opening. Again, just gently easing into it. Feel free to just come down or lift it up and feeling a nice sensation here. Now, whenever you find a good position to hold, we're gonna stay right here. So either with the support of pillow or bolster or without anything here. You can even feel free to close the eyes here if that feels good. And once you settle into your deepest form that you like to come into today, just gently relaxing. See if you can get a little bit more depth with the breath here, not forcing anything, but now allowing gravity to do its work and just gently relax everything here. If you feel any tension in any areas, feel free to adjust, but if not, just staying in this beautiful opening for the legs. And again, it might feel quite intense for some of us, especially if you come out of a leg day or a hardcore walk or running series sensation. You might feel this one a little bit more than others, or perhaps it's just a nice opening for yourself. Taking a moment for yourself, not only physically, but but also mentally. It should feel so, so good. Just take some time for yourself. Relax, restore, and focus on the deep form of your breathing. Beautiful work, everyone. We'll take one more full cycle of breath here. Nice deep inhale through the nose and deep and complete exhalation out through the mouth here. And on your next exhalation, slowly walking your hands back to neutral if you had it behind you. And if you had any props, feel free to take them aside. And gently coming out of this position, and we'll transition to the next one. The next one, I will highly recommend grabbing something that resembles a block. If you don't have a block, no worries. Again, you can grab a book or, again, any kind of pillow. To be completely honest, any fluffy pillow will work as well. But we're gonna get right into the next one. This one is my personal favorite. It is called Lizard. So it's kind of a resemblance of Pigeon, if you're familiar. If you've been following this series, we did it in day one, but for those of us who are not familiar, we're gonna go ahead and set up so we're in that nice high plank. We won't be here for long, don't worry. We're gonna go ahead and thread the left leg through, and we're gonna meet it towards that left palm that's in the front here. Now here, for some of us, might already feel a nice engagement through the hips and the quad here. But if you'd like to just lessen that intensity, right, because we don't want to be doing a strengthening activity today, just place that knee gently down onto the floor here. And if you do, again, not have anything, no blocks or anything, you can just gently place the palms right next to each other and just hold in this position here. And for my friends who have a block or book or any pillows, feel free to bring them now onto the side where your palms were just there, and we're gonna place both palms onto that block surface. Again, you can keep that knee down. If you do like to get more intense with it, you can keep the knee up, but I would recommend keeping it down and just holding it here. If you'd like to take this deeper, again, you can come onto a half where you can kind of gently play around with the arms here. You can bring one arm down, the outer side of the arm, which is my right, because we're doing the left leg, can come down here and the left palm can be on the floor. Or if you like to come into the full version, you can go ahead and come with both elbows onto the floor here. And again, finding a best position for your body today to hold. And again, this is gonna get nice and deep into our legs, our inner thighs, and your quads. So whenever you find a good position, feel free to hold it down. Again, relaxing everything here, not forcing anything, but gently allowing that quad, that inner thigh to gently open. It should feel so, so good. And if you haven't really done too much of an inner thigh, groin, and quad stretch before, it's a treat. It should feel so, so nourishing. It should feel so good for this deep release that we're giving our body today. And if you carry any kind of tension spots, you can even rock side to side and see if you find a little bit more space, a little bit more release into the sides here. Or again, just gently holding in that center to really feel that opening. With time, you should really start to feel the muscles slowly relaxing. At first in this position, it might feel like it's in a strengthening because it is quite intense, but with time, your muscles will want to allow your body to release and let go. It should feel so, so nice today. Taking a moment to bring awareness back into the breath. Nice deep inhalations and complete exhalations here. And with more time passing, your shoulders might want to be more engaged. Again, bringing your body weight more back. If you start to feel any tension in the shoulders and the arms, feel free to shift, especially that back leg back, almost like you're drawing more attention to that back heel. So you feel more of a stretch into the calves and not so much in the arms and the shoulders. So that's gonna really help alleviate any kind of tension by distributing the body weight a little bit differently as the time goes by, and it feels more intense with time. Beautiful. And we'll stay here for a last full cycle of breath before switching to the other side. And on your next exhalation, if you had any kind of props, feel free to shift it to the side, gently coming back on your fingertips, shifting your body weight back towards that back heel and the hip. And if you need assistance with the wall, feel free to use it or place your hands by your hips. And we're just gonna simply switch to the other side. Now bringing the right foot forward, all the way forward, so you feel a nice hip extension here. And we're gonna go ahead and place both palms again in the inner portion of that right leg. And again, you can keep that back knee lifted, although this is quite intense, or you can keep it on the floor. From here, you can feel free to grab again the props, or just simply coming onto your palms or your elbows. And again, sometimes as we go through, you might find that these sides can be different. You might find that one side can be more open, and you might be able to bring your elbows all the way down to the floor, and one side may not feel as equal, and it might feel very, very tight. And again, just gently listening to your body. Do not force yourself just because you did one thing on one side. The other side may not want to come into that full and deep form. So again, not forcing anything and just noticing the differences or similarities if you feel both are equally great or equally not so great, not so open. Again, not judging yourself, but just allowing for the awareness and seeing if every single breath you take in this moment can deepen, can soften a little bit more with the depth of the breath and time that we take here. Feeling a nice sensation from the crown of the head that reaches through the spine, through the back of the leg and the front, and meeting it to the calves and the heel. This is such a good stretch, not only for the quads and the inner thighs, but also through the ankles and the feet that we tend to not give a lot of attention to. We usually pass through our lives without taking care, time, and attention into our feet, which is important because as humans, we are standing most of our lives, and we rely and utilize our feet. And so taking a moment to deepen the stretch of our feet and taking attention and love and care for our feet is also very, very important. And with this pose, you're gonna feel that relationship with the quad, the hip, the inner thighs, and the calves, and your ankles and the feet, deepening with every single breath and bringing more and more space into those areas that we tend to not stretch in our daily lives. Beautiful work, everyone. We'll stay here for last few moments and cycle of breath before transitioning to our last pose of the day. And we'll take one last full cycle of breath here. And on your next exhalation, slowly, slowly, if you had a prop, feel free to take it aside, coming back onto your fingertips, shifting your body weight back, in towards your back hip and the leg, and coming out of this pose. And now we're gonna shift gears and coming back into now our seated position. If you do need to take any moment for yourself, if that pose was quite intense or if you've never done it before and need a little bit of a break, take some time to get some water. Feel free to keep the knees together for just a moment, however much you need. And when you feel ready, we'll come into the last pose, which is going to be either, again, a few different variations as always, either coming into the most deep form where we're coming into legs apart and we're coming into a deep release in the inner and outer thighs, as well as the calf, and again, the feet, but just in a different orientation. Y'all can feel free to grab the fingertips with the toes here. You can even grab the outside of the feet here, or again, you can come into forward fold variation, lengthen the fingertips, inhale at the top, and exhaling to forward fold. Again, if you do have a prop like a bolster or yoga block, you can feel free to use that prop to even get 1 or 2 inches deeper, or even a micro inch forward, and see if you can use that prop to help you, right? These props are not meant to shorten the distance, but it's meant to really allow your body to get deeper in poses and assist when we might not be able to do it ourselves. So it's a great prop to have, again, or a pillow, again, anything like that. And for those of us who'd like to not come so deep, y'all can feel free to keep the legs crisscrossed here. And already you might feel a nice lengthening through the sides of the hips and the inner thighs. Not as intense, but with time, again, you might feel it more. And from here, we can go ahead and take a variation here. Again, you can keep yourself in a forward fold variation. Again, just sinking down forward and really feeling the outer thighs. Here, you might not feel too much of the legs as much, since we're not doing too much of the leg focus here, but you will feel the outer hips releasing. So if you feel like the legs extended version is not your calling today, feel free to take it here. You can even place that bolster or pillow underneath your hands here. Just rest your elbows down and your hands down. And if you're very flexible, you can even bring your forehead down onto the floor all the way and feeling the hips releasing here. So whichever variation that you would like to take, let's go ahead and take it now. And again, lengthening through the legs, feeling the hips, the outer thighs releasing. And if you have your feet connected here, really feeling the feet opening with every breath, relaxing the facial features, relaxing the head and the neck here, allowing the body to completely come into stillness, allowing the body to really melt into this last and final pose that we have for this, and really melting through every breath. See if you can go a little bit deeper with every single breath that we take today. With more and more time passing, you might find that your body is tensing up, If you do find yourself in this moment tensing a little bit more, using the breath to soften into those potential areas of tension, really allowing your body to melt and deepen into the position without any force. Keep your hands effortless, and just allowing your legs and your feet to just deeply come down to the earth, not by force, but with the strength of the earth beneath us and the strength of our breath, further and further deepening our bodies into this final pose. And we'll stay here for last few cycles of breath. Last opportunity to get a little bit deeper, maybe perhaps getting a micro inch or an inch more deep into this pose, and finding yourself into complete relaxation, complete nourishment and openness through our lower half. We'll take one more full cycle of breath collectively. Nice deep inhale through the nose and deep and complete nourishing exhalation out through the body. And on your next exhalation, bringing your hands back into our neutral position, meaning it back towards the center line. If you had your legs bent or extended, bringing them into a closed stance, so keeping your knees together back into our seated position. Just holding yourself, your knees and your feet. You can even rock forward and backwards with your heels and the toes lifting and gently coming to meet the earth if you'd like. But just allowing your body to just settle back, and it's almost like you're giving yourself a beautiful hug, thanking yourself for showing up today. And that is it for today. I hope that you felt a little bit more openness and depth into the legs in a shorter amount of time. We usually spend a little bit more time, but the focus of this series is again to come into more of a concentrated stretch and yin yoga inspired and restorative yoga inspired flow. So I hope that y'all enjoy, and if y'all have been keeping up with the series, I will see y'all for day 5. Have a wonderful day, everyone. See you in the next one.